With the recent cold weather, people are saying that the regular season for grilling and smoking is over. Welcome to the postseason. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. This is Steve from DQ'd Barbecue, and today we're gonna make some chili. Y'all hang out. Alright y'all, so with the weather getting colder, I figured today'd be a great day to make some delicious chili with the use of our char griller acorn kamado grill. Now, today's recipe is going to be a riff off of one that Malcolm Reed from How to Barbecue Right put out not long ago. And I'm going to go ahead and put his channel link up here in your top right corner. The other twist with today's recipe is that instead of using cornbread, where I'm from here in West Virginia, we love to make pepperoni rolls eaten with the chili. So we're going to go ahead and make some of those too. Y'all hang out. Alright guys, so to get our fire ready for today's cook, we started out with some good lump charcoal. Now today we're using Royal Oak lump charcoal. We got our little pyramid built up, we put our tumbleweed fire starter down there and lit it off. So now we're just waiting for our lump charcoal to ash over and get ready. Then we'll put our plate setter in place and start adjusting our kamado for temp. Alright, let's head inside and get that chili ready to go. Okay guys, so for the red bell pepper and the onion that we're going to put in our chili, we're just going to put a little bit of char on the outside right now just to activate a little bit more flavor on these things, you know? Alright guys, so we're going to let these char up a little bit on the outside, get them back inside, dice them up, get them in that chili. So while our grill's heating up, we're going to go ahead and get our ground beef ready. Now to get this ready, we're just going to brown it and we're going to season it up with some salt, pepper, and garlic. Just keep it real simple. Now once we get it all browned, we'll go ahead and drain the grease and get it in our cast iron Dutch oven. Now the other beef element we're going to use is a chuck roast. Now I prepared this chuck roast earlier in my smoker. I seasoned it up pretty much just like I would a brisket. Kosher salt, black pepper, garlic, some spicy Montreal steak seasoning, and I also used a little bit of barbecue rub on it. Now I put this in the smoker and I just let it go for about 4 hours. So that didn't actually completely cook it, which that's fine. We wanted to finish cooking in the actual chili. But what it did was it let it get some of the smoke flavors, as well as put a little bit of bark on the outside of it. Okay guys, our kamado's up to temp. We've got our ground beef done. We've got all of our ingredients together. Let's go ahead and mix this together and get it out on the grill. Okay, so when we add our ingredients into our pot, we've already got our ground beef in here. We'll go ahead and add 1 quart of beef broth. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire. We're going to add roughly about 2 tablespoons worth of Frank's Red in there. We're going to go ahead and add our diced onion and our red bell pepper from earlier that we charred on the grill. We're going to go ahead and add in 3 cans of Rotel's diced tomatoes and green chilies. We're going to go ahead and use 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Let's go ahead and we'll give it a stir at this point just to get everything a little bit integrated in. Now we're going to go ahead and add that chuck roast from earlier. We went ahead and cubed it up. We'll go ahead and dump that in there, give it another stir. So next we're going to go ahead and add our jar of spices here. Doesn't it look pretty? Now the specifics on what we've got in here are down in the detail view below. So we're going to go ahead and just add those in, make sure we can give it a stir, get them all added in there, all integrated. Now the last ingredient we're going to add here is a little bit of a special ingredient. So my brother had a pretty good year with his garden this year and he had a good crop of Carolina Reaper peppers. So he was kind enough to go ahead and give me some of his Reaper powder here. So we're going to be a little careful with it and we're just going to put in about a 1/4 teaspoon. We don't want to overheat this chili. Alright, once we get that in there, we'll give another stir. That should be it. Alright guys, so our grill's sitting at right at 300 degrees. We got our chili on. we're pretty much just gonna let this simmer for about 2.5 hours. Now we'll come out and check on it periodically, give it a stir. But for the most part, we're just gonna let it roll. See you in a little bit. So here in West Virginia, one of our secret treasures is the pepperoni roll. And the way I grew up is we always made a big pepperoni roll loaf and ate it with a chili. That's what I'm gonna show you right now. Y'all get in here and take a look. So to get our pepperoni rolls ready, what we're gonna do is use loaves of frozen bread. Now you can get this at your grocery store in the frozen section. We're gonna let it thaw out, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten the bread out. We're gonna make sure it stays longer than it is wide. Next, we're gonna start layering in our pepperoni. Now you can add as much or as little pepperoni as you'd like. Me, I like a lot of pepperoni. After we get the pepperoni laid down, we're gonna go ahead and lay down our cheese layer. Now when I grew up, we just used string cheese because it made life easy, and to be honest with you, it comes out great. But now if you want to use shredded mozzarella or some other kind of cheese, hey, feel free to do so. So after we get our cheese layer laid down, we're gonna go ahead and roll these up, sort of like you would a cinnamon roll. We're just gonna start on the side, roll them over till we get it all the way rolled up. And there you go, pepperoni roll. Ready? Okay, so we got our pepperoni rolls made. We're gonna go ahead and get our oven heated up to 350, get them in there for about 20 minutes, till they're golden on top, Then they'll be ready to eat. Y'all stick around. All right, let's take a look at our pepperoni rolls. I'm gonna call this done. Let's go ahead and get these out. Now, the last thing you wanna do to your pepperoni roll before you call it 100% good, is you wanna go ahead and hit those tops with a little bit of butter just to add to it. There we go. There we go. Okay guys, so our chili's been on the egg corn for about 2 hours now. So now comes the time where I'm gonna add my beans. Now, I work with several people who are highly spirited about whether chili should have beans or it shouldn't have beans. Well, the way I grew up, chili should have beans. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 cans of chili beans into this, and we'll let it ride. That's nice. All right, fellas, the next time we see you, we'll be tasting some chili. Y'all hang out. All right, guys, so we finally got our chili off our cooker, and I can't wait to dive into it. It smells great. But before I do, I just wanted to go over what we did today. So the first thing we did was we had our chuck roast. We got it all seasoned up pretty much like you would a brisket, and we got it on our smoker for 4 hours. Now that allowed us to get some of that smoke flavor into it, as well as develop just a little bit of bark on it. The rest of the time we spent browning up some ground beef. We got the rest of our chili ingredients together. We got everything ready. We got it on the cooker, and we let that cooker ride at about 300 degrees for roughly 3 hours. At the 2 hour mark, we went ahead and added our beans, mixed them in, and had them good to go. Now in the meantime, we prepared some pepperoni rolls. It's a local West Virginia favorite, and I personally love it with my chili. Now all we did for that was we used some store-bought frozen loaves. We flattened them out, added our pepperoni and cheese, and just rolled them up. Put them in the oven at 350 for about 20-25 minutes. Pulled them out, added a little bit of butter on the top, and then they're good to go. All right, guys, I don't think I can wait much longer. Let's go ahead and get some of this out. All right. Now, I like to add a little cheddar cheese to my chili, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I also like sour cream in my chili, but I kind of like to keep it separate. Something about that cold and hot together, it's just fantastic. So let's give us a bite. Let's get some of this roast. I tell you what, that roast in this chili, something about the way it cooks in the smoker and then in the chili. It is the most fall apart beef I've ever had. It is fantastic. And that Reaper sauce, Reaper powder, it's definitely got some tingle back here. I didn't go crazy with it because I knew what it could do, but it's definitely there and you know it. But now here's the real test. We're gonna use our pepperoni roll. We cooked up a little bit earlier. Dunk him in some sour cream. Use him to scoop up some chili. Now that makes me think of home. That takes me back to being a kid during deer season when all the relatives would come to the house. That is just fantastic. All right, so thanks for coming along with me on this cook today. This is a real fun one, and this is sort of my meal prep for the week. I'm going to be eating chili and loving it for the rest of this week. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We try to keep stuff coming out pretty regularly. Now, my wife, my kids, and select other family members have a special request for the next video. Let me explain a little bit. Last month, my wife and my oldest daughter went on the Polar Express train ride. And when you do that, they encourage you to wear pajamas. Well, to get in the Christmas spirit, all three of us, we got matching reindeer pajamas. And it's been my family's request that in the next video that I'm going to release on Christmas Day, that I wear that reindeer onesie. I told them I'd do it if this video gets 1,000 likes. So, if you want to see me barbecue something in a reindeer onesie, go ahead and hit that like button. Until next time, y'all take it easy.